This is the RC 2014 Mini, a Z80 based single board retro computer kit. Today we are going to expand it by adding a second board, giving us CP/M, an extra 32 kilobytes of memory, a new pageable ROM and compact flash storage. The kit comes well packaged and documented. However, as a kit you need to assemble this yourself. If you have already put together the RC 2014 Mini, this shouldn't be a problem, as you will be familiar with a soldering iron. On the assumption that some of you may not have gotten into this hobby yet, I'm going to cover the actual assembly. You will need a soldering iron, a pair of cable snips, and a multimeter is handy if you are unsure on how to read the colours on the resistors that indicate the value of the resistor. I always advise that you use some kind of eye protection when working with hot solder, just in case. The documentation not only has a manifest of all the components, but also gives a guide to the order you should assemble them. Since this is going to mount on top of the RC 2014 Mini board, the first step is to remove the ROM from the RC24 Mini and the three jumpers. The connection between the two boards is via a long pin header, which I plugged into the RC24 Mini and then soldered into the new board. Always have a close look at the board after each component or set of components is soldered to ensure that you haven't missed a connection or inadvertently soldered two of them together. For the resistors and diodes, take care not to bend their legs too close to the body and splay them out to ensure that they don't drop out when you turn the board over. Having a helping hands rig or board holder, while not essential, does make life easier. For fitting awkward parts, I find elastic bands to be very useful, as they can be tensioned to hold the part in place while you solder. Once all the resistors, capacitors, LED and diodes are in place, it's time to solder in the sockets. These, unlike the resistors, have very short legs and need to be held in place while you solder. My technique is to cut out a cardboard template to hold the sockets against the board and secure it in place with elastic bands. This will temporarily hold the sockets in place until you solder the pins at each corner of each socket. Then you can remove the cardboard and check that all sockets are level. Once all the pins of all sockets are soldered, you can then solder on the 40-pin SIL sockets to the top side of the board to allow future expansion. Our final stage is to fit the chips into the sockets, taking great care to ensure the pins actually go into the socket and are not bent out to the side or underneath. Final inspection to ensure you haven't missed a solder joint or left any blobs of solder where they aren't wanted, and you can then insert the compact flash card and bolt the two cards together. The kit comes with bolts and standoffs for this purpose, but as I had already had the RC24 Mini bolted to a few Maker Beam struts, I simply extended those. The completed assembly is compact and looks good. Z80 CPUs don't need the kind of cooling that modern CPU chips require, and the CPU board is in no danger of overheating. We'll cover powering up the computer in the next video and seeing what CP/M has to offer. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching.